Hello students, welcome in today's lecture. We are now going to start the new topic, morphology of flowering plant. And in this topic we are going to discuss the morphology of different flowering plant. Now first we'll see what is meant by morphology. Morphology means the external appearance. So see here, morphology means what? The external appearance. एक्सटर्नल अपीयरन्स म्हणजे ज्याला मराठीमध्ये आपण असं म्हणू शकतो की बाहेरून एखाद्या प्लांटचे जे कॅरेक्टर्स आपल्याला पाहायला मिळतात दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज दी मॉर्फोलॉजी. सो एक्सटर्नल अपीयरन्स ऑफ एनी प्लांट इज कॉल्ड ॲज दी मॉर्फोलॉजी. बाहेरून दिसणारे जे कॅरेक्टर्स प्लांट जे आहेत त्याला आपण काय म्हणू शकतो? मॉर्फोलॉजी. देन विच कॅरेक्टर वी कॅन ऑब्झर्व एक्सटर्नली ऑफ द प्लांट. सो इफ एनी प्लांट यू कॅन ऑब्झर्व, यू can say that there are different parts of the plants like the plant stem, leaves, flower, their fruits. Okay, inside the fruits there will be seeds. So all these parts are called as the external part of the plant. Okay, so morphology of flowering plant. Flowering plant means the plant which has a flower is called as the flowering plant. Another name of this flowering plant is called as the angiosperms. It is called as the angiosperm because in the kingdom planting we are going to discuss the different divisions of the plant. So angiosperms are commonly called as the flowering plant. So here in this chapter we are going to discuss the morphology of the flowering plant, means the root, stem, leaves, flower, fruits. Each part we have to discuss in detail in this morphology topic. Okay, so here in this topic we are going to discuss in detail each and every part of the plant. So it is very interesting part, but there are various types of examples are included in root, stem, leaves, flower, fruits that we have to remember by different tricks. Otherwise the topic is very interesting. So keep attention from first to last lecture. What is we are now going to discuss in this part, that is very interesting one. So here first we'll observe the diagram of the plants. So if we say any plant, I am drawing here the diagram. Suppose this is the plant. Okay, here you can observe the roots of the plants. Here there are branches on the stem part. So we label here, this is the stem, these are the leaves. Okay, here you can observe, suppose this is the fruit. Okay, this is the root. So this is the rough diagram of the plant. Okay, so in any plant you can observe two systems. In any plant you can observe two systems. One is called as the shoot system and another one is called as the root system. Okay, shoot system and the root system. So what is meant by shoot system and the root system? See here in this figure you can observe that this root system is present below the soil. So suppose this is the part of the soil, underground part of the soil or below the soil, there will present the root system, and above the soil or above the ground there will be present the shoot system. So here we can observe that in the plant two systems are there, shoot system and the root system. Shoot system is present below the soil while root system is present below the soil while the shoot system is present above the soil. Now here why we call it as a system? Why we not call only as a root and the shoot? Because system means other than root, or there are different parts of root. Suppose this same diagram will enlarge here. If it is a root, so we can observe in number of plants This is called as the primary root. So it is the primary root. On this primary root, there are the lateral branches, okay? And these lateral branches again called as the secondary root, this order, and it is called as the tertiary root. Observe carefully this figure. See here, this main root we label as a primary root. On this main root there are lateral branches, okay? And these lateral branches are called as, the lateral branches of first order is called as secondary root, and lateral branches of the third order is called as the tertiary root. So all these roots together we call it as a root system. It is root system, okay? And above the ground there is a stem. On the stem there are different branches. On these branches there are leaves. On that branch there are also fruits. There will be also, you will observe the flowers. So all this together we label it as the shoot system. It is not only the stem, but here stem with their branches, flowers, fruits together we call as a shoot system. So here the two systems of the plants are very important. One is called as root system, which includes primary root, secondary root and the tertiary root, and another one is called as a shoot system, which includes the stem, its branches, its flowers, its fruits. That's why we call it as a shoot system and the root system, okay? Now the next point is that along this figure we are also going to discuss what is meant by node and the internode. So again we modify the diagram. See here, if we study any plant, okay, now on that plant the main part of that plant which is present above the ground, that we call as a stem. So here now we are going to discuss only the node and internode part. So suppose this is the plant, these are the leaves of the plants, okay, we can observe it. We can say that this is the root part. So what is meant by node and internode? Node and internode, we are going to discuss the two parts, that is node, and second one is the internode, okay? So here on this stem, this is the stem. On this stem, the point where leaves start, or the point where the leaves start, that part is called as the node. So this one is called as the node, okay? स्टेम वर ज्या ठिकाणी लीफ स्टार्ट होते त्या पॉइंटला आपण काय म्हणणार आहोत, नोड म्हणणार आहोत. आणि द डिस्टन्स बिटवीन द टू सक्सेसिव्ह नोड, सो दिस इज द नोड फ्रॉम वेअर ऑन द स्टेम लीफ स्टार्ट्स, and the distance between the two successive node is called as the internode. So here we can label it as the internode. So node म्हणजे स्टेम वर जिथून लीफ स्टार्ट होते दॅट पार्ट इज कॉल्ड एज नोड, आणि एका खाली एक दोन नोड मधलं जे डिस्टन्स आपण म्हणतोय दॅट डिस्टन्स इज कॉल्ड एज दी internode. Okay, so node and internode, these are the parts which are present on the stem. Node means the part on the stem from which the leaf start, and internode means the distance between two successive nodes is called as the internode. Okay, so from this figure we can easily identify the different regions of the plant, that is the shoot system which is present above the ground, root system which is present below the ground, on the stem there are node and internode, and whole this plant system we are going to discuss in detail in this morphology topic. Okay, now here we have to study the different parts of the plant in detail. That means first we have to study root, then its modification, stem, its modification, leaves, its modification, then fruits, its different types, flowers modification, and last we have to see the seed and its different types. Okay, and at last we have to discuss the different families of this plant. Okay, so we start first part of this plant topic, that is called as the root. So root part of the plant is very important because there are various types of the roots, as well as we have to find the different modifications of the root. Okay, so what is mean by root? Just now we have seen that root system is the system of the plant which is present below the ground. Now this root, if we see the definition of the root, so we can observe that what is the definition of the root? Root is the descending part. Root is the descending part of the plant, or we can say that the plant body. Then what is mean by descending part? Descending and the ascending, these are the two terms. Descending means the part which is present, or in other words we can say that the lower part of the plant is called as the descending and the upper part of the plant is called as the ascending. So जो प्लांटचा खालचा पार्ट आहे, जो ग्राउंड मध्ये आहे, जमिनीमध्ये आहे, दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज द डिसेंडिंग पार्ट. सो इन सिंपल वर्ड वी कॅन डिफाइन रूट एज the descending part of the plant body is called as the root. Okay, and in opposite word we can say that the ascending part of the plant body is called as the stem. Okay, but here we are not going to discuss the stem, we'll discuss only the root. So descending part of the plant is called as the root. Okay, there are some of the important characteristics of the roots, and due to which they are different from the other parts of the plant. Now we have to discuss which are the characteristics of these roots by which they differ from the other parts of the plant. So here the important parts of the roots are that these roots always grows towards the soil. Second one is roots always grow away from light because they have no direct connection to the light, because stem grows towards the light but root is always grow away from the light. So second important thing is that they grow away from light. Root always grows towards the water because in the soil there is a present water, so root has affinity towards the water. Next point is that these roots, firstly we say that it grows towards the soil. Second one is it grows towards the water because water is present in the soil. Third one is that it always grows away from the light. That's why they are negatively phototropic. And the next one is that these roots are non-green. They are not green like the stem because they present inside the soil. They do not have any green pigment. That's why they are non-green in color. And we have seen in this diagram there are node and internodes are there, but on these roots there will be no node, internode, no flower, no fruit, or no any leaves you will find. Okay, so here we'll discuss some important characteristics of the roots. Firstly, it is positively geotropic. It is positively geotropic. Then what is meant by geo? Geo means soil. So root always grows toward the soil, so it is called as the positively geotropic. Okay. Now second one is it is positively hydrotropic. It is positively hydrotropic. Hydro means water. Inside the soil there will be water, and that's why it always grows toward the water. Third one is that it is negatively geotropic. It is negatively phototropic. Photo means light. It do not go towards the light. That's why it is called as the negatively phototropic. Then next one is that other than this, the characteristics is that it is non-green in color, or it is non-green. As it is non-green, it is non-photosynthetic, because we know that the green part of the plant is always carries out is always carry out the photosynthesis process by which plant can prepare their food. But as it is non-green, it is non-photosynthetic. Then next part is that it do not shows flower, fruit, node and internode. Okay, so on the root you cannot observe the flower, fruits or node, internode part. So these are the important characteristics of the root, but keep in mind these are not given in NCERT book, but you have to know that what is meant by a root and which are the important characteristics of this root. Okay, these roots have these characteristics and by which they are different from the other parts of the plant. Now, along the characteristics, we are going to discuss the important functions of the root, because the root carry out some of the major functions in the plant body, and that's why its importance is more in the life of the plant. So the functions of the roots are also very important, and here there are important functions which are carried out by these roots, and those are: first important function is the plant require water and minerals for its growth and development, and that water and minerals is provided to the plant with the help of the roots. So first function of the root is it absorbs water and minerals. It absorbs water and minerals from the soil. Second function of the root is that it gives support to the plant, that we call it as it provides anchorage, or we can call as a support to plant, due to which plant can withstand on the soil properly, or it can hold their plant body properly inside the soil. So it is called as a mechanical support, anchorage, or the proper support to the plant is given by this root. So it is the second function of the root. Third function of the root is that this root store reserve food material. So they store reserve food material. Then what is mean by reserve food material? Reserve food material means the excess food in the plant body gets stored in the form of starch, and that starch is called as the reserve food material. So this starch is stored in the root part of the plant in the form of reserve food material. And the last function of the root is that it synthesizes plant growth regulator. Plant growth regulator. What is mean by plant growth regulator? Plant growth regulator means the plant hormones. So here this root synthesize plant growth regulator or the plant hormones, and hormones are the chemical substances produced inside the body of the plant which are required for its growth and development. There are various types of hormones like auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, ethylene, abscisic acid. All these hormones which are required for growth and development of the plant are synthesized inside the root part of the plant. So the last function of the root is that it synthesizes the plant growth regulator. That means the plant hormone. So this is the functions of the roots. So the important part for the exam point of view is that the question may be asked, what is a root? Give its characteristics, or what is root? Give its function. So this is very easy part of the root. You can easily remember the definition, the characteristics and the functions of the root. Now we are going to discuss the types of the roots. That means here we have to remember the different examples of different types of the root. Majorly, you have to know that the root part of the plant is developed from the important part of the embryo, and that is called as the radicle. So here, before going to discuss the types of root, we have to know that the root in majority of the plant is developed from the radicle of the seed. Okay, and in majority of the parts means in the dicot plant. Okay, again I will revise this sentence. In majority of the plant, that means in the dicot plant, the roots are developed from the radicle of the seed. Now, number of students don't know even what is mean by dicot plant and what is mean by monocot plant. Okay, so first we will discuss what is dicot and what is monocot. Then we will discuss the radical part of the seed. So, number of plants which we call as a flowering plant, or in another word we call it as an angiosperm. These angiosperms or the flowering plants are divided into two classes. One is called as the monocot, or in other word we call it as a monocotyledonous plant, and another one is called as the dicot or dicotyledonous plant. In the monocot plant, if we observe the seed part or the embryo part, so suppose this is the seed of this monocot plant, and inside the seed of this monocot plant there is an embryo, and that embryo contains only one cotyledon. So see here, this is the cotyledon part of the embryo. And if we see the diagram of the dicot plant, then you can observe that there are two cotyledons are present, so these are the cotyledon. Okay, so major primary difference you have to remember in between dicot and the monocot seed is that inside the monocot seed, embryo has only one cotyledon, while in the dicot seed, embryo has the two cotyledon, and by this cotyledon the name is given when two cotyledon are present. Di means two, dicot plant, and when one cotyledon is present, one means monocot plant. So there are various other differences also there, but we will discuss in detail in the angiosperms kingdom plant topic. But here at the primary level, dicot plant means the plant whose embryo has two cotyledon, and monocot plant means the plant whose embryo has one cotyledon. This is the major difference. So here we are discussing that in majority of the dicot plant there is the root which develop from the radical part. Okay, now we have to know what is mean by the radical. So again here we will draw the diagram of the seed, and from that we have to show that radical part of the seed. So suppose if this is the structure of the seed, okay, inside the seed there is a embryo, and this embryo, suppose you have to imagine this is the embryo part of the seed. Okay, this is called as the seed part or seed coat, we can say. Seed coat means outer covering of the seed. Okay, and in this part you can observe on this embryo, this is the radical part, and above the embryo there will be part of the plumule. Okay, so from the radical part, when this seed fall on the soil, from this radical part there will be development of the root, while from the plumule part there is development of shoot. Okay, so radical part grows below the soil and form the root part, while the plumule part grows above the soil and form the shoot part. Here you have to concentrate on this radical part only, because trick is very important. R, from radical R there will be development of the root, and here we have given the sentence that in majority of the dicot plant, the root develops from the radicle of the seed. Okay, So you have to understand what is meant by radical part of the seed. Now here we will discuss the three types of the roots. They are again classified according to the which part of the plant develop this root. That means some roots are developed directly from radical, some roots are developed at the base of stem, while some roots are developed from any parts of the plant. So here these roots are divided into the three types. See here, first type of root is called as tap root system. Okay. Second type is called as fibrous root system. And the third part is called as adventitious root system. Okay. So here we will discuss taproot, fibrous root and the adventitious root system. So here this taproot system is developed from the radical. So we have seen that what is meant by radical. These taproots are developed from the radical of the seed. It is majorly found in the dicot plant. We have also seen that what is meant by dicot plant. An example of it is the mustard plant. Mustard means muri. In mustard plant you can observe this taproot system. Now here we have to know the diagram of the taproot system. So here again see here, this is the main root. On this main root you can find the lateral branches. So here this is the primary root. We have seen this diagram. These are the secondary root and these are the tertiary root. Okay, so this is the diagram of the taproot. Primary root, secondary root and these are the tertiary root. So these taproots develop from the radical. It is found in the dicot plant and the specific example of this taproot is called as the mustard plant. It is the mustard plant. मोहरीच्या plant मध्ये तुम्हाला taproot पाहायला मिळतं. Then what is meant by fibrous root? Here in the fibrous root, the root do not develop from the radical, but it develops because in this plant, in the fibrous root system, the primary root. So this is the main root we call as a primary root. Primary root is short-lived, means primary root is firm, but immediately it disintegrates, immediately it degenerates, and instead of that primary root, there is a formation of fibrous root. So we see here first this root develops not from radical, but it develops at the base of stem. Develop at base of stem. Okay, it is found majorly in the monocot plant, and their example is the wheat plant. Okay, so here important thing is that if we see the diagram, you can observe that here these are the leaves of, or we can say that this is the stem part, and at the stem base of the stem here these roots are formed, and these roots are nothing but the fibrous root. Okay, so fibrous root do not develop from the radical, but these roots develop at the base of stem. They are developed at the base of stem. An important example of it is the wheat plant. So it is a wheat plant where the roots are fibrous type and develop at the base of stem. Wheat are the example from the monocot, and here the primary root is developed at the initial stage, but it is short-lived and it is degenerate, and here roots are like this. And the last category of the root system is called as adventitious root system. These roots also do not develop from the radical, but these roots develop from the any part of the plant. These roots develop from the any part of the plant. What is mean by any part of the plant? That means these roots may be developed from the node part of the plant. They may be developed from the base of the stem, but they do not develop from the radical part like the taproot system. And here there are three examples given. One is called as the grass. Second one is called as a monstera. And the third example is of the banyan tree. Okay, so grass example, you are well known for the grass. Banyan tree in Marathi we call as the वडाचं झाड. But monstera plant is different. It is one of the ornamental plant. The leaves of the monstera has the holes, but it do not have the Marathi name. That's why grass, monstera and the banyan tree. These are the three examples of this adventitious root system. This root system develops not from the radical but from any part of the plant. Fibrous root system also do not develop from the radical, but it develops from the base of the stem. Example is the wheat plant. They are the monocot plant, and the taproot system develops from the radical. It has the example mustard plant, and these are the dicot plant. If you see the diagram of the adventitious root, then you can see this such a type of diagram you can observe in the adventitious root system. Here you can observe that these are the roots which develops on these plants. So these are the called as this thread-like structure is nothing but the root part of the plant. Okay, so this is a type of adventitious root. So it is very easy part. For need point of view, you have to remember the example: taproot, mustard plant, fibrous root, wheat plant, and the adventitious root, grass, monstera, and the banyan tree. So examples are very important. Okay. Next important part is that only taproot develops from the radical, while fibrous root and adventitious roots are not developed from the radical. Okay, with this lecture you also get the notes of this lecture, and from that you can easily understand the types of the root. The second question for the theory point of view will be asked that describe the different types of the root. Then you have to draw the rough diagram of it as well as the specific part from which part the root arises, and their example is very important. Thus in today's lecture we have seen what is the root, its characteristics, its function, and the last the types of the root. Thank you.